Simone, in black trousers and a raincoat, glides past. Keep your noun close to your verb. Simone glides past in heels and a raincoat. That makes me feel something. I can imagine heels. What kind of heels? Let the reader do the rest of the work. This is a recording taken from a free live class that I give from time to time to my email subscribers. Let's get stuck in. Okay, our final entrant for tonight. How's the pain? A terminal hit woman's final assignment becomes a fragile road trip of unexpected connection, dark humor, and reluctant humanity when a naive young man teaches her how not to die alone. This is a messy logline, which might have a terrific story in it. But if I'm getting that, it's meandering, it's not clear, and most of all, there's no handle to it. I can't pass this on to somebody and say, oh, it's about this hit woman who's dying. And she sets out on this, fragile road trip, unexpected connection, dark humor, reluctant humanity. I know that not every movie is Speed, where they get on a bus and if it drops below 50 miles an hour, they're all going to blow up. That's easy to write in a logline. Bloody hard to come up with those. I don't know what a terminal hit woman is. So a hit woman with a terminal disease forms an unexpected connection. Is it a relationship? Is this a love story with a naive young man? Can we come up with a better noun for a man who teaches her how not to die alone? What you want is irony. So the irony is that she's been killing people and she's now going to have to process her own mortality. So a hit woman who has to deal with her own mortality is got the irony. So I think we've got the food roots in here. But if you're sending this to an agent or a manager, you've got to really narrow it down. But I think there's a great logline in it. I would not start with a proverb, a Bible quote, or a quote from another writer. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. That doesn't make me feel anything. Okay, let's look at this. How does it make you feel? There are 2 character introductions and a meet cute. Simone, 57, salon set curls, sharp suit, crisp blouse, elegance half lost in the grey monotone light of a sparse, faceless room. She bites into an apple as she flicks over the newspaper. Crime of passion or cold-blooded murder. A film producer and his bimbo were executed. She winces at the taste and spits the chunk of apple into the bin. She adds a faded single red rose on top of the envelope. She takes a sheet of paper from the desk and begins to write. Rain streaks down the window pane, her reflection fractured in the glass. She writes, we don't see what. A beat. Then she screws it up, drops it in the bin. She puts down the half-eaten apple. From a plastic wrapper, she pulls out a pink skipping rope, tests its strength. The rope hums faintly in her hands. So introduce your character at their most characterful. This is a hit woman who's in a hotel room. But again, we've got this issue where the writer has given us the location, but I can't actually, what's the frame? When you read salon set curls, sharp suit, crisp blouse, yep, elegance half lost, what are you seeing? I don't see her. If you say Simone reclines in a gilded chair, salon set curls, sharp suit, elegance lost in the monotone of this sparse hotel room, then I'll know it's a hotel room. There's the as disease. Do we need to know that it's simultaneous, that she's doing 2 things, or do we do it sequentially? She bites into an apple, flicks over the newspaper, crime of passion, and then this sort of summarizes something that I don't think we can see. A film producer and his bimbo were executed. She winces at the taste and spits the chunk of apple into the bin. That's an overwritten sentence. She winces and spits the chunk of apple in the bin. And then she puts a single faded red rose on the top of the envelope. I haven't seen an envelope. Takes a sheet from the desk. Oh, hold on, there's a desk. Watch the construction begins. Characters who begin to do something. He begins to whistle, or he whistles. She begins to write, or she writes. This is a nice cinematic. Rain streaks down the window pane. Her reflection fractured in the glass. She writes, we don't see what. Who cares? A beat. Who cares if there's a beat? Does the reader need to know that there's going to be a beat here? And I think what's happening is the writer here, Garrick, is in his head. He's directing. He's imagining he's in the scene, and this beat is incredibly important. I don't feel anything when I read beat. And then from a plastic wrapper, clause opening, the noun hasn't arrived yet. She pulls out a pink skipping rope. This is the sugar cube. And I've read this a couple of times and I've only just realized the implication of this. And I just wondered if any of you missed this. Was I the only one who didn't realize that she's going to use this as a murder weapon? Please let me know. So if she pulls out a pink skipping rope from a plastic wrapper, flip it round rather than start from a plastic wrapper where I don't know what I'm seeing. It hums in her hands. We don't need the faintly. So I kind of read it. This is very cinematic. I don't know who she is. I haven't quite understood why it's important that she's reacting to the murder in the newspaper. Maybe because she killed the person. And it might be one of those things when context, we'll see, that's why the writer Garrick showed me this scene. And it all comes together in 60 pages. But like that comedian, we can't say it's going to get good in 10 pages. So I think the writing is good. It's a little bit clogged up and it could be honed. But the big picture is, I'm not sure that this hooks me. And then we go Danny's mother's house. This happens a lot where if we don't know who Danny is and we don't know who his mother is, we're just a reader seeing a house shop. So I wouldn't mention it. So here's our second lead. Danny, crisp suit and tie. Morning breaks, warm sunlight creeps into a cramped front room that was once a shop. He gathers a studded leather collar and a few coloured toys in odd shapes and sweeps them into a bin liner, sugar cube. He places a Starbucks cup with Daniel scrawled on the side next to a silver plastic tiara. He stands back, then adjusts them proudly. Checks his watch, 7:45, the second hand ticks, loud in the silence, a few days earlier. So when you're doing this, when you're starting with a sort of flash forward as it, we're saying a few days earlier, I don't have any intrigue to go back. It's an interesting start in the present. I was interested by, presumably, that this is some sort of sex den and that he's the guy who cleans up. But what's the story? What's the story in the first scene? Does it pass the Aaron Sorkin test? Character wants something. There are obstacles to them achieving it, and the drama is seeing how they overcome those obstacles. And their character comes out by the choices they make. So Danny, crisp suit and tie. I don't think we should put the lighting here. There's 2 hours of tutorials about how to use the 5 cinematic elements in your writing, and there's a whole 40-minute video just on the use of light. But don't use light unless it tells the story. This is a pretty seedy situation. If you want to talk about the shadows and the gloom hangs over a sex dungeon, that might be cinematic lighting working. But the fact that morning breaks is not particularly interesting. If you say Danny creeps into a cramped front room that was once a shop, this is an example of a suboptimal sentence. He places a Starbucks cup with Daniel scrawled on the side next to a silver plastic tiara. So what's our budget for this sentence? How many dollars are we going to spend if each dollar is a word? He stands back, adjusts them proudly. Okay, checks his watch. So nothing much is going on. And then our 2 characters meet cute. If you're enjoying this class, I have a Scooby sense that you'll absolutely love my free 50-minute masterclass. 7 mistakes stopping you getting an agent. TikTok legend Nick Curcio, who is a WGA screenwriter, said this about the class.
It is not normal for me to go out and watch these masterclass videos about screenwriting. And originally I was just going to scrub through it. I ended up watching the entire thing. There was so much that I agreed with. And he has one of the best explanations for voice, what is voice, that I've ever heard. So if you're someone who likes when I get excited and talk about screenwriting, I would say go sign up and just watch this free 50-minute video because I thought it was pretty dang good.
So it was worth Nick Curcio's time. It might be worth yours too. Click on the link in the description. And now we are going to plunge back in to the live dive. A wedding photographer wrangles the smiling guests into position on the steps of a hotel. Danny, in a sloppy tracksuit, watches from a bench, his pink mermaid trolley parked beside him. Simone, in black trousers and a raincoat, glides past in her heels. She stops, coughing once, then again harder. She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand and wobbles her way to the edge of the bench. Danny glances at her. Morning. Simone ignores him, takes another curious look. You've smudged your lipstick. Simone, all the warmth of the Ice Age. I'm not wearing any. With a tissue, she rubs at the blood smudge on the back of her hand. She clocks his bandaged hand, yellowing at the edges. You should get that looked at. Danny regards his old bandaged hand. More chance of seeing Santa Claus than the doctor around here. Lost 2 fingers on a machine at work. Nasty. Hurts less now. Only the little one and the ring finger. Never used them much. That's all right then. You just lost a bit of weight then. So I think this is a wonderful meet cute between whatever Danny is, and I don't want him as a young, naive man. If he's the sort of, if he's the guy who cleans up at the end of sex parties, what a great job that is in terms of the drama. Note this, city centre bench. I'm not seeing the bench. I just read city centre and go for this wedding photographer. I don't see the bench here. Why has he got a pink mermaid trolley? And I guess I'm obviously thinking of people who've hit hard times and they maybe have their possessions in. Now look at this. Simone, in black trousers and a raincoat, glides past. I would suggest you keep your noun close to your verb. Simone glides past in heels and a raincoat. We don't need to know she's got black trousers, but if you say in heels and a raincoat, that makes me feel something. I can imagine a heels. What kind of heels? Let the reader do the rest of the work. It's a great entrance here. She stops, coughing once, then again harder. Now, I want the voicey way that you describe her coughing. If she seizes up, choking on phlegm, you need to put effort into every line. This is a long sentence. She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand. How many dollars do we need to say the back of her hand? Is it important it's the back of her hand as opposed just she wipes her mouth with her hand? That's important because there's going to be blood on it. And wobbles away. Do we need it to the edge? Just she wobbles away onto the bench is the most important thing. Then we know she's sitting down. And I love this dialogue. It's great. And there's the voice. Simone, comma, all the warmth of the Ice Age. With a tissue, clause opening, I can't see who's with the tissue because it's only when I get to the noun that I understand she's got the tissue. So she rubs at the blood smudge on the back of her hand. Again, is it illegal to have all these prepositions? No. But if you say, she rubs the smudge of blood off her hand with a tissue, and the dialogue carries the day. So I think looking at all of this, how do you open this great idea about a dying hit woman? But I think that there's plenty of good work here, but it's not optimal. It's not in a place where you would say this is undeniable. And that's what we're in the business of. We need to write scripts that are undeniable.